Dak Prescott threw 2 interceptions and 1 touchdown yesterday versus the Texans. Now, Dak did finish off the game by leading the Cowboys on a 98-yard game-winning drive. That was capped off by a Zeke rushing touchdown. Shannon, who's the real Dak here? The one who struggled for so much of the game, or the one that led that game-winning 98-yard drive?
He's both. Skip, remember we talked about it a little earlier. We have a 7-year history. That's a very, very large sample size. Not 7 games, not a year, not 2 months. This is 7 years. And what we've seen from Dak Prescott, Skip, over his first 3 seasons, he had 14 game-winning drives. In his last 4 seasons, he's had 3. His last 3 seasons, he's had 4.
Okay.
He's been inconsistent. We see the guy like catch fire, Green Bay. And then you're like, Dak, what, Dak? Or you see him in games, you're like, Dak, what do you do? Why would you do that? So he's an inconsistent player. Skip, that's why I got him somewhere between 11 and 15 on the quarterback meter. Not a bad thing. He might, catch lightning in a bottle, play good for 4 games. With the defense, they play good. You got a chance to go places.
Yep.
But you ask an awful lot of him to consistently do this and this. There's no way look, I get it. That's a team that plays hard. And normally teams that throws caution to the wind has nothing to play for. They'll fake punch you. They'll go for it. They'll go for it on 4th down.
Yep.
They'll go miss field goals. They'll fake it. They did none of that yesterday. They played the Cowboys straight up. Nothing fancy.
But they did it with a lot of packages of RPOs and spin options and all kinds of it's almost like junk, little junk stuff where they junk up the game plan. And they had to, and they ran it.
That's what they did to your defense.
Yes.
They didn't do none of that to your offense.
Yeah.
Your offense, they just lined up basically cover 2.
Yeah. They did. No, they just played it. They didn't have their best corner. They just played cover 2.
Exactly. Yeah. So, Skip, this is who Dak is. Dak is very inconsistent. He can lead you on a game-winning drive, or he can throw a pick to end the game. Yeah. So that's just the way it is. I don't see it any other way. I've watched this guy for 7 years.
You have.
We've had to watch him very closely for 7 years. Yep. And unfortunately, Skip, this is who he is.
I still believe he's a little more of the 2-minute, the last 2, or the 98-yard Dak than he is the guy who struggled most of the game. A little more good than bad, but just a little bit more. For the most part, he's middle of the pack Dak. He's what you say he is and is not. And he haunts me. He torments me. I lose sleep over him because too often he'll have games where he's more miss than hit.
Right.
So I look at the stat that we lead the NFL in point differential in the 4th quarter. We're a plus 63. Yet I saw Dak at Green Bay get the ball 4 times in the 4th quarter and overtime and did zilch.
Right.
And you can't do that. You can't lead 28-14. You can put it on my defense, and they were obviously Aaron Rodgers just suddenly took off the way he always does against Dallas. But you need to put up a field goal. You need to do something to stem the tide, to break the momentum. And Dak couldn't do anything. So my biggest issue so far this year, he's played 8 games. He's thrown 9 interceptions in 8 games. That's an interception rate of 1.1 per game.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's the worst of his career, okay? So what am I supposed to do with that? Well, he talked about it after the game, and he said, I got to clean up my act. And obviously you do.
Right.
I see him forcing more balls than he used to force. And I think it's a little bit of living up to what Cooper Rush did, and I think it's a lot more of trying to live up to the contract that he got.
Well, you said he needed to force the ball to CD. CD's the number 1, so you say force it.
Yeah, but it's different. He seems to be forcing it down the middle of the field or into the middle of the field regularly, and it's not always to CD.
Right.
So
that was the Noah Brown there.
Okay.
We showed on screen.
The beautiful drive was the opening drive. And they go 76 yards and whatever it was, plays, 76 and 9 plays. And they ran it 5 times they threw it 4 times.
Right.
He completed 2 of the 4 for 21 yards and 13 went to CD. Well, I'll take that as a table setter.
Right.
You did get him the football and he caught it for 13 yards. But the drive ended with 4 straight runs. And one of those was a 25-yard run by guess who? Ezekiel Elliott. That's a blast from the past. And the final was an 11-yard run to TP, Tony Pollard, TD.
Right.
So that's That's the script. That's the blueprint. That's the recipe for success. Is you have to run it more than you throw it. And they seem to go back to throw, and invariably he's going to throw a couple of interceptions.
Right.
Okay.
But Skip, over 7 years, you should have seen enough by now to say, you know what, this is who Dak Prescott is. Yes, he can give me a game where he throws for 400 and he can give you a New England game. But then he'll come back and stank it up, and you're like, well, Dak, what was that? Yeah, that's not my quarterback.
Yeah. So it looked for a while yesterday after he lost Terrence Steele, who's been very good at right tackle.
Yeah, he has been.
They put that backup Josh Ball in. He was completely overmatched. And remember, in that sequence down at the goal line where they're backed up into their end zone and he threw the second interception. The play before, he got strip sacked by Josh Ball's guy.
And he got it back.
Josh Ball fell on the football. So that's the only good thing he did. Then the next play, Josh Ball got beaten again, and the guy swipes Dak's arm, and we get an interception. I thought that was close to being ball game.
Right.
Okay, then the final drive, the 98-yard drive, guess who? The ex-Eagle, Jason Peters, they said, I got this. So he's obviously a career-long left tackle, left guard, and he went to the right side, and it was pretty quiet over there. So maybe Jason Peters is going to see the Eagles in a couple of weeks.
And I think he played some left tackle yesterday, too, and they put the Smith at guard.
All right, well, Tyron Smith is due back, I think, for the Jacksonville game.
Okay.
So now all of a sudden he's first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't know. He's going to be a little rusty. He's going to be a little gimpy. I don't know. Because he tore up everything, his knee, and it had a lot of other things, ligaments going on. But the point is, he's scheduled to be back, and they said he could have been back for this game. So if you get him back, if Jason Peters can play and hold the fort over at right tackle, now you've got something, right? Okay. Well, that can only increase Dak's chances to be the quarterback I need him to be, to make just enough plays and decrease the mistakes enough that you can go places.
But see, you said decrease. What have you seen in 7 years? You don't even want to believe what your eyes tell you.
Yeah, he's a playmaker and a mistake player.
Yes.
Mistake maker.
Yeah. Okay. Your eyes are telling you.
Okay. I still believe they can go on a deep playoff run with him at quarterback. But the defense is going to have to take the ball away on a very consistent basis, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need your best player to step up. He's been quiet 3 or 4 games.
That scares me the most.
Good thing that defense is led by Micah Parsons, Skip. You've got a pretty good chance of taking the ball away with him.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yikes.
All right. Do the Lions expose the 10-3 Vikings yesterday? Whew,
yes.
That was a surprise to a lot of folks.
You know what?
That topic coming up next right here on Undisputed.